So I just got done with a 30-minute run. I don't look great right now. I still have sweat pooling down the back of my neck and I'm about to shower. But I wanted to make a quick video. So for those of you who don't know who Richard Simmons is, Richard Simmons was one of America's most fabulous icons in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And the past 10 years, he's been isolating. And I totally get that. But, I remember finding my mom's VHS tapes and old VHS tapes in my grandparents' garage of Richard Simmons. And I watched them as a kid, you know. My mom was one of those crazy people who grew up in the 70s and 80s, and oh, the fashion. Let me tell you, the fashion was the first thing that took me back, but I was kind of mesmerized by it. Like, the guy looked like a Ken doll with an afro. He was absolutely beautiful. An inspiration to me. And the way he made fun of himself and not others, he tried to be positive. He tried to make things all-inclusive for all people, fun for everybody, just general motivation. I saw him as my idol. I did get into drag for a little bit. And my drag persona was actually a middle-aged jazzercise instructor named Frankie Fitness, who was basically a rip-off Richard Simmons, but Frankie Fitness was like more in denial, you know. So he lives in his mom's basement, but he really thinks disco's gonna come back and he's just gonna make it big. It never happened. But I had so much fun trying to be positive. I have the darkest humor, but I constantly try to only go for myself, because you never know how somebody else's day is really going. You never know what's going on. But if I can make fun of me, whether people laugh at me or with me, at least they're laughing. So that was, it's like a cross between Joan Rivers and Richard Simmons. I hope the dude's doing okay. I know a lot of people have been worried about him. I do understand though, like, I literally went into the desert for a few months at one point and isolated entirely. I brought camping gear, my dog, and we just roughed it because I wanted to get off of social media. I wanted to get away from family issues at the time. I felt I didn't have any friends, and I think isolation can be healing in a lot of ways, and you can kind of put yourself back to a realistic mindset when there's no distractions. And I'm actually considering going back to traveling very shortly. So we're gonna wait till after winter, because I'll be honest, I do not have the winter gear I used to. I have to replace quite a few things, and I really don't want to try roughing it with an 18-year-old dog right now. So he's on medications and other things too, so I just want to make sure we have everything in the works. But yeah, I'll be back to playing dress up this winter, making videos, and then come spring, we'll see what happens.